Alright guys, let's talk about Serial Mom, which is a first watch for me, and I've always wanted to watch this one just by the imagery alone, like on the poster right here where it shows Kathleen Turner just with a knife. I thought that was pretty funny and clever because Kathleen Turner is one of those actresses that I really love. I think she's great in War of the Roses, and I loved her in Friends as Chandler's dad. And stuff like that. She's such a great actress, and I really do love her in a lot of things. And this one I've always wanted to see, and I'm really excited that I finally got to see it because I bought it on the Scream Factory Blu-ray edition, which is definitely one of the must-owns for me. One of the coolest blind buys I've gotten in a while because I really, really loved it without seeing it. And this is directed by John Waters, who directed a lot of these kind of weird movies that were released, I don't know, like 70s, 80s. Hairspray, Shock Treatment, stuff like that. And it's really, really interesting because this one I liked a lot because, again, Kathleen Turner is great. She plays this character named Beverly, who is this Doris Day type of perfect mom. But the fact that she's got these little quirks that become deadly, like she does all these things that you notice throughout before she starts killing. She has that inside her where she's gonna go crazy, and like at the beginning of the movie where she swats the fly, but you can see in her eyes like she wants to kill it. That's so funny and so hilarious that this looking perfect mom, or perfect image of a household mom is like a killer, and I love that about this movie. I love that it's humorous in that fact. I love the fact that she's just such a jerk to like her neighbors before she even kills anybody. She keeps sending letters like a serial killer would before she's a serial killer, like to her neighbor next door, and the police come and ask her, "Did you send this note?" And it's a note where there's cut out letters of each, like from papers, like a creepy serial killer would do. And what it says on the actual paper is, "I'll get you, pussy face." And it's the funniest thing. Like, it's just hilarious. And it's so funny because her reaction is like, "Oh, officer, I would never say anything that obscene or that vulgar." And I love that. It's so hilarious. And then she calls the girl next door, her neighbor, and calls her even worse things, like that she says everything horrible she can, like, to this woman, and it's so funny and genuinely just so hilarious in how wacky it is. And this is just a very wacky movie, and also it's a satire movie. It's a satire of becoming famous in Hollywood when you're a serial killer. And this was released literally, like, I think extremely close to the time when O.J. Simpson was tried for the murder of his wife and friend. And it is so funny that it was released right around the same time as that real life thing, which further solidified the fact that if you're a celebrity, you can get off scot-free. That's really interesting, and I like that humor of it. Like, there's even a scene where, like, her daughter, Ricki Lake, like, is before she's at court at the end of the movie, Ricki Lake's outside saying, like, will my mom win? Will she win? Like, vote now, vote here. And it's so ridiculous because it's so, I don't want to say otherworldly, but it's so satirical in a way where it's so interesting. And also they've got the joke that is used in a lot of horror where they, like, the son, Chip, who is played by Matthew Lillard, which is awesome, he watches horror movies constantly. He's obsessed with horror movies, and then people even mention, like, you shouldn't let him watch those horrible things, like, they're horrible and they'll mess with your brain. And I really enjoy that, and it's just so funny with how satirical it is. And I feel like this one, it's weird. I looked it up and it said this movie bombed, and it sucks because I really, really did enjoy this one. This was a really fun, entertaining time. Again, with just the humor, with the self-aware, satirical type of humor, really worked for me. really just love this overall. This is a really fun, entertaining time, and I really am excited to watch it again. And I've just watched it. I want to rewatch it again, maybe this time with a commentary. But I really, really liked Serial Mom when first watched. This was so hilarious, so fun, and so clever. So that is my thoughts on Serial Mom. Tell me down below what you think of this movie. And thank you guys so much for watching.